My name is Matt Hughes. I am the cinematographer for the upcoming short film Invect. It's called Invect, right?
Invect, that's right.
For the upcoming short film Invect, directed by Benjamin Capps. I first met Ben, what was that, 11 years ago?
No, it was 15 years
15
ago.
years ago.
2011. Yeah, a long time ago.
I met Ben 15 years ago, and this will be our 5th short film that we've shot together, we've collaborated on.
Yep.
And all of these films share a similar world and world building that we've created in Ben's retro future scripts, and they share a thematic language of exploring sexual dysfunction and trauma and the intersection between technology and the esoteric. And I really love working in this intersection of genres and being able to play with different styles of lighting and different visual approaches to this type of material in a way that is appropriate to each story. So, because since even though they're in the same world and they're related and they often have some characters that will cross over between them, each one tells its own individual story. And I'm not tied down to one particular trope or style that has to be repeated precisely. It allows a lot of flexibility and creativity to expand that visual language each time.
Do you feel that our collaboration and my style of direction affords you enough creative freedom?
Absolutely. I do think that Ben's style of direction lends itself to all kinds of creative choices and just experimentation and playfulness in the visual style, in the detail of the sets and the props and the costumes, and just the curated vintage technology that Ben puts into all of his sets are just such a joy to light, because it is so unusual and just such a fun environment that it lends itself to being able to experiment with older styles of lighting as well, and older just color palettes, and just playing with that. I have found that from film to film, it's been useful to contrast the types of camera movement from scene to scene as a way of mirroring the inner experience of the character. And so that's definitely something that has emerged as a bit of a pattern. We usually have some sort of longer take that we'll try to incorporate into each film, and I think that's especially interesting in contrast to the stop motion sequence, which Ben does on his own.
Right. Would you like to be more involved in stop motion sequences? I would like that.
Oh yeah.
The lighting to make it more cohesive, perhaps, with the rest of the film.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely look forward to being more involved in the lighting of the stop motion sequences in the future. It's obviously a huge time commitment, and one that I've not been able to be as hands-on with for previous films, but have tried to advise in some of the lighting and help to design it. But it would be great to sort of get my hands dirty moving forward in some of those sequences, because they're often the highlight of the film is the stop motion part. So that's so the characters and the puppets that Ben creates are just amazing. With any project, you always want to try something new, something different, something that lends itself to that particular story. I'd like to play around more with just reflections and optics and the breaking up of light and being able to sort of distortions and fracturing of the image in ways that we haven't gone into as much. I also have dabbled in, but haven't completely embraced a more vintage throwback style of lighting, which I would like to do. I want to play more with hard light. I want to play more with more theatrical lighting and more deep focus, as opposed to the more contemporary trend of a very shallow depth of field. I want this crisp, clinical, allowing the audience to look at whatever part of the frame they want at any given time, rather than sort of force them to only see the one subject. And I think that's something that was done more in the 70s, and it would lend itself to the subject matter.
Have you work on other sci-fi films in terms of being a cinematographer?
I've done some work in other sci-fi, more in horror than I have in sci-fi, and a lot of that often falls into tropes of just being very, very dark.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that is interesting about working on these films with Ben, is that they don't always look like how you would expect a horror movie to look. We try to put more color into it. We have a lot more scenes that are either out in the daytime or are very bright and almost flat in some ways, to almost as if we're laying bare this trauma and trying to like show all of its flaws. And of course, I'm still trying to keep it interesting and still using shadows and still, but I don't think it looks like you would necessarily expect a horror short film to look.
Can you talk a little bit about working with Katie, with other actors, and that we have on the sets, and in terms of how they perform vis-a-vis the cinematography?
Well, that's not my job. That's yours. But yeah,
well, sometimes it is your job.
It's been really. I've been really fortunate with Ben's casting in all of these films, because the actors have been fantastic and the cast just dives right into the strangeness and the discomfort of the subject matter. When I am lighting and framing a scene, and Glenn and I are blocking that scene, we very much try to create an environment of comfort for the actors, despite the discomfort that their characters are going through. Given the sensitivity of the subject matter,
right.
And the often luridness and the the violence and the trauma that we're exploring in these stories, there is, I feel, a responsibility as cinematographer to not allow those images to feel exploitive, and to respect the sensitivity and the emotional vulnerability of these characters, as well as respecting the actors themselves.
Sure.
As they're putting themselves into these situations. And I've been very lucky that they are so willing to let the camera get in so close and to capture that vulnerability. That I think it's been a fantastic collaboration.
Excellent. I'm really excited to work on this next one with you.
I am very excited for this next film with you, Ben.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to dive deeper into this type of confluence of genres that we play with.
Yeah.